So I'm a little excited, not overly excited, but I just finished my goal of 5 miles, 200 calories in about 19 minutes. My best time so far. So it kind of lets me know that I'm back on the right track. And then I did an additional 30 minutes or so on the sit down bike before I did that. So sit down bike, riding bike, yeah, about close to 50 minutes to a 50-minute workout in. But today I just wanted to take a step back and first of all thank the people who joined me yesterday in letting people know that you can um, be diagnosed with cancer and all the outcomes aren't going to be bad. Um, you know, I was surprised yesterday to find out that um, remission isn't always the answer. Being cured isn't always the answer because there are some people who are living with cancer, and because of the advancements in medicine, it allows them to be fully functional and continue to do everyday things. So um, we all got together yesterday in an effort to inspire people. It being Black History Month, these being people of color, I wanted to do something to let people know that just because you've been diagnosed with cancer doesn't mean that everything ends and life is over. And a lot of those people that joined me yesterday were instrumental in me uh, having the mindset and the recovery and the thought process that I have. So first of all, I want to thank Sherri Winston, Henry Gray, Melissa Hamilton, Nichole Herron. Um, I also want to thank Kanika Holt. Um, I also want to thank Mia Turner and Robert Stallings because they all sent in some information to share with people. Like they opened up to who knows who, um, just because I asked them to share their stories so that other people may find hope and encouragement, and as well as their families. So I also wanted to shout out, and so I pulled everybody together within about a week. And so as I was doing it, I was saying yesterday that the crazy thing is each day I did it, I remembered somebody else that I had forgot. And I don't know if that's a good thing because that shows that there is abundance of people um, just here in this town in St. Louis that are affected by cancer in some way, shape, or form. Um, but I did want to say happy birthday to Nichole Glavin. And it's funny. When I say her name, it's always crazy because I know her as Mocha Latte. So, um, I learned her name after I learned which her nickname, her her moniker, I would say. So happy birthday to you. Also, I want to also include Orlando Watson over at Prime 55 Restaurant in the Delmar Loop. Um, Sue Fulton um, with Passion for Pink.org. And I'm thinking Nicole Stevenson with Cafe Soul. And she's over now at the House of Soul, 1204 Washington, and my cousin Troy Morehouse, who is also a survivor, my cousin Pam Westbrook, and my brother, who is a leukemia survivor. And there's some other people that that may or may not have I may or may not have gotten in contact with, and everybody's not, um, you know, um, as open or willing to put all their stories out, and there's nothing wrong with that. Um, this is just simply something to say, you know, today marks for me 2 years exactly since finding out that I was a cancer patient. I was diagnosed exactly 2 years ago today, And I've had a lot of people show me love and support and prayer, which has really gotten me through a lot. And I don't have time to name everybody. But what I did learn yesterday is that it's not just about the remission aspect or the cured aspect or the the remission. People use different words. I was amazed to find out that some of the people who have went through cancer and got to talk to people yesterday, some of them are still, I didn't know that. I mean, some of them are still living with cancer. And each of those people that I mentioned earlier were instrumental at some point in time in helping me and my mind and my thought process and, helping me to be as strong as people think that I always am when dealing with this cancer. So first of all, and I got a little emotional today sitting at the gym, and I'm just thinking like, man, in 2 years, there is so much that I've seen and that I didn't think I would see and that you take for granted, right? Everything from movies to, I mean, it sounds crazy, but when you're diagnosed, at least for me, you don't know what's going on. And so, I didn't know if I was going to see this next movie, that next movie. I didn't know if I'd be able to travel again or do this again. And first of all, just knowing that God blessed me to even be here is monumental. But just the things that I've done in 2 years is still pretty amazing to me. So the other thing I wanted to do is acknowledge that unfortunately everybody's not going to make it through the diagnosis of cancer. After hearing all of the good stories and me even being here to do this video, this isn't guaranteed, but the advancements in medicine and I mean just the prayer and the everybody's body is different. Everybody responds differently. So I'm always glad to hear stories of people who made it through. Unfortunately, in the last 2 years, there have been people who have been diagnosed and didn't make it to see the day. And so, I just want to acknowledge a couple of people. Tony J, who was a good friend. Brittany Randall. PJ Herman Pruitt was like my mentor in terms of business and a lot of the photography. I've been doing photography for years, but I would say the last 10 years easy, he was one of my biggest supporters. He was the person that he got me booked for more jobs than anybody I can think of. And so I appreciated him. My mom, and then just recently, Mouse, who's a Missouri high school official, just lost his wife. So there's just, you never know how it's going to turn out. But the thing that I learned in the last few days over the last 2 years is that whatever stage you're at, you can live with cancer. And it's still a scary thing. And you're always, it changes you. It changes you forever. But to know that you can live with it, that there are some advancements in medicine that can potentially change the outcomes that were once straight death sentence is amazing to me. So I'm not going to keep talking and going on and on because there's so many people I have to thank. There's so many people that I've forgotten. There's so many people who've helped me along the way. And if I start naming it, then we'll be here for 2 hours. But just know that all of you are loved and appreciated, who have talked to me privately, who have talked to me publicly, who have sent me messages, who have, asked questions of how I was doing, who've kept tabs on me. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Here we are, 2 years out, blessed. and looking forward to seeing more days and being an influence to more people, a more of a sign of hope for other people, not just me, but all the people that I name, because everybody that I mentioned kind of went through a different form of cancer, and some of their messages, some of the things that they shared with me um, during my process of going through cancer, helped me, and I learned even more from them yesterday than I thought I already knew. So, um, you know, that's all I got, man. I'm gonna roll out, and you guys have a good evening. And yeah, that's it.